About 300 refugees have been granted citizenship of India under the Citizenship Amendment Act. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the CAA, which seeks to fast-track Indian citizenship to non-Muslims who migrated to India due to religious persecution in Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Meanwhile, a report by the Economic Advisory Council to the PM highlights how the population demographic across countries, particularly those near India, has shifted between 1950 and 2015. The figure further validates the government's efforts with CAA. So what's the status of the minorities in India's neighbours? News9 Plus Decodes. According to the report, share of religious minorities across country analysis between 1950 and 2015, several of India's neighbours witnessed a fall in their religious majorities. On the other hand, almost all Muslim-dominated neighbours witnessed the majority's share in the population grow further. Which countries saw a decrease in minorities? In Bangladesh, Hindus noted a 66% decrease, falling to just 8% share of the population. Bangladesh's Buddhist minority remains stable at 0.63%. However, the Christian population tripled in 6 decades, reaching 0.53%. In Pakistan, Hindus' share in the population dropped from 13% in 1950 to just 2% in 2015. The other religious minority, Christians, grew from 1% in 1950 to 2% in 2015. Afghanistan's Muslims grew from 99.4% of the population to 99.7%, leaving not much room for minorities. In Buddhist majority Sri Lanka, Hindus made up the second largest share of the population at 20% in 1950. By 2015, Hindus had been reduced to 15%. The share of Christians dropped from 9% to 8%. The Muslim population, however, grew from 7% to 10%. Another Buddhist-dominated country, Bhutan, saw Hindu minority fall from 23% to 11% between 1950 and 2015. Which countries saw minorities' share in population grow? In Nepal, a Hindu majority nation, the share of the Muslim population rose from 2.6% to 4.6%. The Christian minority also grew from almost 0 to about 2% of the total population. In Myanmar, the Christian minority grew from 4% to 8%. The share of indigenous religions grew by 25%. The Buddhist majority fell from 84% to 75% in 6 decades. In Maldives too, the share of the Muslim majority saw a decrease. The minorities, including Buddhists, Hindus and Christians, noted a slight increase. What is the significance of this change in minority population? According to the report, a surge in the share of minority populations shows that the country has supportive policies and a nurturing environment for these groups. On the other hand, a significant decline in the share of the minority population hints at discrimination against these groups. This is particularly evident in countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, in which the discrimination has forced minorities to seek refuge in other countries, India being a prominent choice due to the geographical proximity.